going on, guys? It's Spaz, your YWC reality check, here with the Royal Rumble review. I'm kind of wavering with my enthusiasm right now because I really, even as I video this, I don't really know how I feel about the Royal Rumble as a whole. I really don't. But I will say one thing: WWE. In 3 months, it's WrestleMania. Tonight was filler mania. Oh yes, it was. The Rock wasn't there at all tonight. You know, whatever. Going with the whole CENA, oh, Rock's never there. Whatever. I hate CENA. I like The Rock. But Rock wasn't there tonight. You didn't need to do a whole friggin' video package on The Rock. You really didn't need to do a whole friggin' video package on CENA, like, overdoing the fact that he's a face when obviously Rock's not going to be a heel going into WrestleMania. You did not need to do an overdone promo for Raw tomorrow. Raw is supposed to, you know, the guys in the British Fist put it best. Raw is supposed to promote the pay-per-views. It's not supposed to be the other way around. 2 completely unannounced matches tonight. Really? Come on. Now, Funkasaurus, Brodus Clay versus Drew McIntyre. Yeah, the whole Funkasaurus thing is really amusing. Yeah, the fact that we're seeing Drew McIntyre on TV, even though he's being made to look like a super jobber. It was an okay match. Funkasaurus is just there for comedy. I can do that. I can get on board with that. Whatever. It didn't need to happen, though. And, you know, going with the whole, you know, Drew McIntyre, 3 strikes and you're out, and now you're on strike 6 on a top 4 pay-per-view, which is horrible. The Divas match, oh dear lord. The Divas of Doom and the Bellas versus, who the hell was it? Kelly, Eve, Alicia Fox, and Tamina. Now, if it had been me, I would have knocked the Bellas off completely, put Tamina with the Divas of Doom to face Kelly, Eve, and who the hell? Oh, Alicia Fox. Kind of forgettable. But then you would have at least had all the ones that can wrestle on one team and the Barbie dolls on the other team. Yeah. But the good team won. SpazPhoenix looks strong over Kelly. I like that. We need to see more of that. She's back. Apparently, her face was all bruised up or whatever. So apparently she's healed enough to be seen on TV again, because heaven forbid we show somebody with a bruise or with a cut or a scratch, or because, you know, PG, you know, not gonna rant about PG tonight, especially considering it's way past my bedtime o'clock. The Divas match, you know, the ones that should have won. Funkasaurus squashed Brodus Clay, Funkasaurus Brodus Clay squashed Drew McIntyre in less than a minute, which was really sad. Now, the World Heavyweight title match in the cage, you know, you got the 2 giants versus Daniel Bryan. Everybody and their mother who has any sense of, you know, developed brain cranium capacity knew that Daniel Bryan was going to win this. Mark Henry is, you know, perpetually injured now, and Big Show as champion is about as exciting as watching gray paint dry. So you had Daniel Bryan running around the ring, you had the big guys, you know, clobbering at each other, you had the typical, you know, people trapped between the ropes and the cage spots. The way they ended it was kind of cool, kind of original. Bryan goes to make the escape, Big Show goes after him. I will say that somebody the size of the Big Show perched on the top of the cage is kind of impressive looking, but basically he tries to pick up Daniel Bryan with one hand and put him, I guess the idea was he was trying to put him back in the ring, but yeah, Daniel Bryan hanging off Big Show's one hand, and then eventually he drops and he keeps his title, and that's about it. CENA versus KANE. Everybody, it seemed to be the popular opinion that this was going to go to a no DQ. I really would have hoped that CENA would have lost this. I mean, if there had been a run-in by The Rock to screw over CENA, if there had been a run-in by The Undertaker to help his brother, either way would have been fine with me. But to have CENA lose just once, it's like, okay, he's already got the main event at WrestleMania. He can't afford to lose one match against KANE, which is not going to dent his armor at all. But no. It did end in a count out. KANE, you know, dominated the fuck out of CENA. They both got counted out. They brawled into the back. He wailed on him for time with chairs. And then he went to Zack Ryder's locker room because Zack Ryder had shown up earlier in the night with a very, very fake looking back brace on, hanging out with Eve, and John Laurinaitis, because he's trying to kiss ass and whatnot, gave Zack Ryder his own, you know, room to watch the Royal Rumble in. I don't really know why he had... If you follow reality and suspend your disbelief and pretend that it's actually real for a second, I don't really know why Zack Ryder had to be there, other than for this spot. Goes and wheels Zack Ryder out to the ring, beats the hell out of him some more, and tombstones him to the very poorly acted horror of Eve. I really don't know why I'm getting a text this late. Really? Can we not... You know, I'm doing a video here. Anyways, where was I? Right, so Zack Ryder, who's apparently already got a herniated disc in his back, then comes into the ring and gets a tombstone from KANE. I will admit that the maniacal look on KANE's face when he gave Zack Ryder the tombstone was epic. The amount of facial expression KANE can put out there while wearing a mask is... It's a point in his category. I'm not saying it makes him like the best superstar ever, but it's something that should be put out there because it is there. CENA then comes out after the tombstone has happened, and he takes a great chokeslam. And I don't just mean a great chokeslam because it's CENA getting chokeslam, but he does take a very, very decent chokeslam. Probably the second best chokeslam of the night, but I'll get to that later. Why are things beeping at me while I'm trying to do a video? Fuck off. So yeah, Ryder's down. I'm kind of a fan of Ryder. I don't like the fact that he's being used as the disposable third party in this whole KANE-CENA rivalry, but he's down. Eve can't act. Cena's down, which makes me a happy kid. You know, even though he'll pop up for Mania like a pimple on prom night. Daniel Bryan is still the world champion. We've got 2 matches that are virtually irrelevant, and we go into what I thought was going to be the match of the night, which was Dolph Ziggler versus CM Punk. Dolph Ziggler versus CM Punk was a great match when it was a match. Now, I'm going to separate the great match from the bad booking. They had a great match. The in-ring work they did was great. Storyline being, you know, John Laurinaitis is, you know, all shit in his pants now because he's going to get, you know, his job review from Triple H tomorrow. So he takes himself out of the referee position and watches the match from the side and brings in a regular referee. But he still comes down in a referee's shirt. So you're like, yeah, something's going to go on. And even Booker T said it. It's like, why the hell is he wearing a muscle shirt? Does he think he has pipes? Which I thought was awesome. But even in his referee shirt, he's sitting there texting the whole time, and it's like, really? Anybody that would be texting you right now is either in the office in Connecticut, gone home from the office in Connecticut, or at the show. So the whole texting thing is it's about as annoying as the anonymous Raw general manager, isn't it? Oh, yes. So somebody's going to take his BlackBerry one day, Edge is going to come back for one day and flip out on the BlackBerry like he flipped out on the laptop, which will be crazy and amazing and wonderful. But, the ref gets knocked out at one point. Laurinaitis tends to the referee instead of refereeing the match. Punk clearly wins the match 3 or 4 times. Laurinaitis comes in to try and referee. He has Ziggler up for the GTS. Uses Ziggler's foot to hit Laurinaitis in the head. Eventually does get the pin. The referee does actually count the pin. Laurinaitis is behind him counting the pin as well and congratulating Punk. So I don't know if it's a sarcasm thing, or whether he's like reminding Punk, hey, I'm still in your crosshairs, or whether he's trying to kiss up to Triple H. It was a really cluttered, badly overbooked way to end the match. So that's everything but the Rumble match. That all fit on one page. The rest is on 5 pages, yellow and blue and red all the way down, because this is how detailed I was when I was writing shit from the Rumble. So, if I sound a bit monotone, if I start sounding like I'm, you know, just reading and not necessarily thinking of stuff off the top of my head, it's because I'm not. I'm reading my horribly, horribly scratchy notes that are sitting right here in front of me. So, everybody, those of you that are involved anyway know that I set up the YWC Appreciation Royal Rumble Lottery as my way of saying thank you to the viewers that I watch, the viewers on YouTube that entertain me. There's 16 people in this, so when somebody's guy comes out, I'm going to announce who it is. By the end of it, you'll know who won, and I will give that person the props and motivation and, you know, the plugs and whatever that they deserve afterwards. Now, we all knew that Miz was coming in at number 1, and Angela, you know that you had number 1, you had The Miz. A-Rai came in at number 2. They had a quick brawl. Miz eliminates Alex Riley pretty quickly. Number 3, Mr. Parkin, your guy was R-Truth. He came out, and Truth gets the better of the Miz for a little bit. Now, when we started this, had Alex Riley come down, then we had R-Truth come down. I was thinking, okay, if number 4 is John Morrison, I'm going to lose my shit. And John from Beer Money 2K would lose his shit, because I think it would make a lot of sense, get all the guys that Miz screwed over in the past little while to take it all out on him and take him out early in the Rumble match. Oh ho ho, that did not happen. We had a weird front suplex slam thing from Truth on the Miz. And number 4, Nutty Rock Chick, your man is Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes and the Miz double team Truth for a while until number 5 comes in, and it is Justin Gabriel. Justin Gabriel and fights Cody Rhodes, and the Truth fights the Miz. Number 6 is Primo. Primo gets pretty much everyone in the ring with a shot or two as the ring starts to fill, and we have a great cruiserweight segment between Primo and Justin Gabriel. Miz then eliminates R-Truth. Truth pulls the Miz out and DDTs him on the outside, but Miz is not eliminated. Number 7, Johnny Thunder. Your guy is Mick Foley. Foley comes in, he eliminates Primo. Foley and Rhodes brawl for a little while. Foley gets the double arm DDT on Rhodes. Number 8 was one of my first markout moments of the night. First one was Foley. Second one was number 8, because we heard the Alberto Del Rio music, and we thought that Alberto Del Rio was coming back. But we heard this really busted-ass car. This car comes out onto the stageway. It's got, like, doors that don't match the body of the car. We've got a window that's been replaced by a garbage bag and stuff. And we see, coming out of this car, Ricardo Rodriguez in really faded tights and a really dingy-looking scarf, and he comes out and he starts trying to do all the Alberto Del Rio poses, and it's really, really horrible. Now, Foley and Gabriel both have what the fuck looks on their face as Ricardo comes to the ring, but Foley and Ricardo end up eliminating Justin Gabriel. Ricardo celebrates like an idiot, and Santino Marella is number 9, so sorry, NJ17, your guy is Santino Marella. We have a super awkward rolling sequence with Ricardo and Santino that didn't really go anywhere, and they both kind of bumped into the turnbuckle. And it was just super awkward. And Santino gives him a wedgie, which is also very, very awkward. And Santino eliminates Ricardo. So, stupidity abounds for the next little while, because we have lots and lots and lots of stupid joking crap with Mr. Sacco and the Cobra, with Mick Foley and Santino. But Epico comes in at number 10, so Hannah Banana Bob, your guy, is Epico. Cobra and Sacco and Cobra on Epico, Mr. Sacco to Epico, and Foley eliminates Epico. More Cobra and Sacco stupidity until Miz and Cody recollect themselves and attack Foley and Santino. Rhodes then eliminates Santino, and Foley puts Sacco on the Miz. Rhodes comes up from behind and eliminates Foley. Kofi Kingston is number 11. John from Beer Money 2K, your guy is Kofi Kingston. Good luck with that. Kofi Kingston holds up pretty well against the Miz and Rhodes for quite a while. Jerry Lawler comes in at number 12, so Wrestling Jesus, your guy is Jerry Lawler. Good luck with that. Cole freaks out at ringside. Oh, you should be an announcer. You shouldn't be, in the Royal Rumble. You don't belong there. This and that. Da-da-da-da-da. But he goes in there. The Jerry chants are loud and very well heard all over, what the hell city were they in? Anyway, Randy Orton's hometown city. I can't think of the name right now because I'm having a brain fart. Oh, yes. The Jerry chants, the You've Still Got It chants. Taking shot after shot after shot on Miz and Rhodes for a long time. Goes for the top rope punch on Miz, but Rhodes eliminates Lawler right after he delivers the top rope punch thing, take the one strap down, punch him, and Rhodes eliminates him right afterwards. Ezekiel Jackson is number 13, so Marcus, your guy, Pacifist299, your guy is Ezekiel Jackson. Ezekiel Jackson plows through Kofi Kingston and the Rhodes and the Miz for a long time. Jinder Mahal is number 14 and nobody cares. Great Khali is number 15, so British Fist, your guy is now the Great Khali. Great Khali, of course, comes in with chops for everybody. Khali eliminates Jinder Mahal and Jackson in short order. And still nobody really cares. Hunico comes in with a quick, sort of high-flying flurry, I guess. It's stopped by a chop from Khali. Booker T is announced at 17. Booker T was also on commentary. Cole freaks out all over again. Booker T goes into the ring, slaps everybody, and makes everybody look silly for a couple of minutes. Miz, at this point, is brawling with Kofi Kingston, and this is the spot of the night. Pushes Kingston out of the ring, head first. Kingston, not at the corner that he's already near. He's pushed out of the ring onto his hands near one corner of the ring, walks in a handstand to the opposite corner, lands on the steps and crawls back into the ring. My only thought, it was an awesome spot. Nobody can take anything away from Kofi Kingston. This was an absolutely amazing spot that he did. The only thought that I had in the back of my head was, this is a message from Kofi Kingston to John Morrison saying, anything you can do, I can do better, with John Morrison's Spider-Man spot from last year. Dolph Ziggler comes out at number 18. This is the point where the Rumble becomes very, very interesting for me. You guys all know who my Fave 5 are. The 3 youngest members of my Fave 5 are all in the Rumble now. And they've all, you know, Miz and Rhodes have been in almost since the beginning, and Ziggler's already had a match tonight. So they're all looking pretty good from this point onwards. And this is the second spot of the night where you really start to notice that the ring is really, really filling up. Number 19, Deluxe Man. Your man is Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So, as is becoming quite cliche in this match, good luck with that. The USA chants all are awesome. You know, Duggan fights briefly with all the heels in the ring. Rhodes quickly eliminates Duggan. Ziggler and Rhodes eliminate the Great Khali and Booker T in sort of a pile of people type spot. Kristen and Dee, Black Cat Feline, you guys got, or you ladies I should say, got number 20, and I'm sorry to say it, but number 20 was Michael Cole. Oh yes! Orange tights, headgear and all. And the quote of the night from King was, "Don't take off your pants, nobody wants to see that." Gets in the ring. Avoids everybody. There's like a clump of people over here and a clump of people over here. He stands at the opposite side of the ring where there's nobody, doing typical Michael Cole-ish stuff and celebrating the fact that he's in the ring but not doing anything. Number 21, Mark R. Pearson. You got number 21 in the lottery, and number 21 was Karma, which I thought was awesome. Karma comes down, you know, stares down Lawler, hits him with like one clothesline. Lawler hops over the top ropes to get away from Karma, and the King and Booker T get up from commentary and pull him out, and he loses his shit, and they all go back to commentary, and he starts bitching and moaning at them about how the two of them cost him a main event title match at WrestleMania, and it's all like, please Cole, shut up. Okay, so Karma eliminates Hunico, or no, I'm getting ahead of myself. Ziggler gets in Karma's face, and Karma actually hits her, sorry guys, the finishing move. I don't know what they're going to call it in WWE. When Karma was Awesome Kong in TNA, they called it the Implant Buster. And I don't know what they're calling it in WWE. But she hits the Implant Buster on Dolph Ziggler, who takes it like a champ to the face. For anybody that doesn't know what the Implant Buster is, picture somebody basically getting in position for something like a pedigree, but instead of getting dropped on their face, they get lifted up by the double underhook and dropped right on their face. Ziggler took it, and he took it like a champ, because I'm pretty sure his face bounced off the ring. But that was okay. That was fine. That was wonderful. Karma eliminates Hunico, and then Ziggler eliminates Karma. Sheamus is number 22, so Kid of Wrestling, you are number 2. You have Sheamus. You are now backing Sheamus. Destroys everybody with a quick flurry and... Hold on. Destroys everybody with a quick fury and quickly eliminates Kofi Kingston. Sheamus it becomes very Sheamus versus Rhodes, Miz, and Ziggler, which is fine. Number 23 is the Road Dogg Jesse James, and I mark the fuck out. This was my high point mark out for this Royal Rumble. I don't even care. Road Dogg was great. Complete, you know, DX attire, pulls off all the old moves, hits the shake, rattle, and roll knee drop on Rhodes, hits the pump handle slam on Miz, and there is a massive "You've still got it" chant coming from the crowd at the Rumble, which is definitely true. If Road Dogg went for a last run for some unknown reason, if they were able to get Badass Billy Gunn back and they had one more run as the tag team, the New Age Outlaws, I'm pretty sure I could die a happy mark, pretty much. Number 24 is Jey Uso, which was awkward because his brother came out in like regular street clothes and accompanied him to the ring, so it's like, okay. So Jimmy's not wrestling, but Jey is, but that's fine. Uso and the Road Dogg go at it for quite a while, which is cool because they weren't really fighting any of the sort of the big names in the Rumble, but it's like, okay, they're both better known as tag team wrestlers, so the two good tag team wrestlers in the Rumble were going one-on-one, so I thought that was kind of interesting. Jack Swagger comes in at 25, and yes, he's the U.S. champion, but he walks out onto the stage, drops his U.S. championship on the ground, and basically makes a big, exaggerated stomping movement as he steps in front of it. So I'm pretty sure I'm not sure whether that was supposed to be like a disrespectful thing, like I'm better than the U.S. Championship or what, but it didn't, you know, as a fan, didn't leave a good taste in my mouth. Road Dogg's getting beat down by a bunch of people, and he's sort of in a daze on his hands and knees, and he's reaching out to the corner like he's going to tag somebody. And if it wasn't for the fact that he was so well known for being in the Outlaws, I would have thought that was lame, but I marked out for that. I thought it was really funny. Wade Barrett came in at 26. Let me say this right now. Wade Barrett has lame-ass new music. It doesn't need to happen that way. Barrett eliminates Road Dogg, who had already been dazed. Wade and Sheamus proceed to brawl like we assumed that they would. David Otunga comes in at lucky number 27. Now, Fozzitude, this is your man. Julian, your number, was 27, which is supposed to be the luckiest number in the Rumble, but you got David Otunga. Good luck with that. And now it gets to the point in the Rumble. It happens every Rumble. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it gets to the point where the ring is full enough that the action is all very slow. Everybody's kind of sectioned off and just kind of like grappling with each other. So we've hit the slow point of the Rumble. 28, Eon Izzle. Your man is Randy Orton. Oh, yes. Comes into a huge hometown pop, goes right after Barrett. Pulls off the suspension DDT double on Rhodes and Ziggler. Orton eliminates Jey Uso. RKO to Barrett, eliminates Barrett. Chris Jericho comes in at 29 and does not troll, goes and jumps right into the action. I was hesitant when it came to Jericho, because I'm like, is he just going to come down and walk around the ring and not do anything and leave, because that would be lame. But he doesn't. He immediately eliminates Otunga. Jericho brawls with Ziggler for a while, which was nice. And number 30 was the Big Show. And I'm thinking, fuck, WWE's going to fuck this right up. Big Show comes in, headbutts for everybody, chokes Miz and Cody over the top ropes. So the guys that have been in the match since the beginning got a weak sort of double choke elimination from the Big Show, which I was not a fan of at all. And then immediately after, he eliminates Ziggler. So all my young guys, the young portion of my Fave 5 in the span of about 10 seconds, are just squashed by Big Show, which is not cool at all, but whatever. Why are things making noise? Yes. Yeah, I'm not going to edit that out. It's going to stay because I'm lazy and such. So now, the final four, the fatal four, whatever you want to call it, are Big Show, Sheamus, Jericho, and Orton. Can we name which one does not belong? We have a massive, again, 3-on-1, with Jericho, Sheamus, and Orton fighting the Big Show. It doesn't work. Massive, like, get some decent basketball height style choke slam to Jericho. Orton hits the quick RKO on Show. Orton eliminates Show, and Jericho quickly comes up behind him and eliminates Orton. So now we have Jericho and Sheamus. Jericho and Sheamus have 8 entire minutes of, sort of wrestling, sort of brawling, and a lot of almost moments. We have, like, completely almost 8 minutes of almost moments with these guys until Jericho is on the apron, eats a brogue kick from Sheamus, gets launched halfway up the ramp, and Sheamus wins the Royal Rumble. Now, none of my Fave 5 won the Rumble. I was really saying for a lot of personal reasons that I wanted Orton to win. None of that happened. Sheamus wins. I'm at the point right now as a fan where I know it can be good that Sheamus won. I know it opens up a whole lot of possibilities on SmackDown for what they're going to do for WrestleMania, and that's good. I don't like it yet. I'm not being closed off to it completely, but as a fan, I don't like it yet. It's got to be said, and this is not just because they are 3 of my Fave 5. It's not just because, I'm biased because I like them and whatever, but legitimately, the MVPs of this Rumble match are Miz and Rhodes, with an honorable mention going to Dolph Ziggler. They lasted, number 2 and I think, number 5 or whatever lasted, and they were eliminated by the 30th competitor. That's a long time in a Rumble. Number 1, the guy that came in at number 1 was eliminated by number 30. And, as soon as they left, it was down to the final 4. That's a big span of time in the Rumble match. Rhodes, not quite as long, but maybe off by 3 minutes. And Ziggler, who went through an entire match with Punk before even joining this Rumble. How can you really say anything else? I'm not going to do score, fail, and MVP on the Royal Rumble, but I do have some pros and cons that I jotted down for the hell of it. The pros, and this is all for the Royal Rumble match itself, because everything else was pretty much what it was. All the mid-card champions were included in the Rumble, which is cool, because we didn't have an IC championship match, we didn't have a United States championship match, we didn't have a tag team match, but Swagger, Rhodes, Epico, and Primo were all in the Rumble, which is good. Some of them were in there longer than others. Epico and Primo's participation was minimal, but I'm pretty sure that's more reflective of how WWE sees the tag team division. I already said it, and I'll say it again, the return of Karma was awesome. The way she was manhandling the few people that she did interact with in the Rumble was awesome. I can't wait for her to squash the entire Divas division under her thumb, whatever. And like I say, my biggest markout moment of the night was friggin' Road Dogg. Because I thought he was, even when I got over the fact that he was there, I thought he was going to go in and then be eliminated and squashed by somebody really fast. But he wasn't. He got all the, you know, sort of retro nostalgia, DX, you know, New Age Outlaw spots in. You know, you got the shaky knee drop, you got the, you know, the juking and jiving and dancing, and, you know, the big pump handle slam. You got them all in. Everything I wanted from him. I knew he wasn't going to win, so whatever. Cons. Why was this not a 40-man Rumble? And I say this for a lot of reasons. I say this because there was a hell of a lot of filler on this show. I think they basically took the template from last year and put it on this year. Because last year, I think there was the World Heavyweight Championship match, the WWE title match, something in the middle, I want to say it was a Divas match, and then the 40-man Rumble. And that worked because it was a 40-man Rumble. But we had a shit ton of filler on this show. There was a lot of people, especially the people on Superstars, that really shouldn't be there. Like, Drew McIntyre and Funkasaurus didn't need to be a match on its own. It could have been in the Rumble match. Trent Beretta, Tyler Rex, fucking Tyson Kidd, Ted DiBiase, lots of people like that were left out. And I think if they had left it as a 40-man like it was last year, you could have included all those people and given them a bit of time, even if it was, you know, run in and get tossed out again. You could have given them some time rather than having this filler that nobody gave a shit about. Another example of why it could have been 40 men, like something as simple as, you know, you got the Usos there, which is one of your premier teams right now, which is like, you know, you only got like 3 teams in the WWE anyway. But the next major contenders for Epico and Primo are going to be the Usos. So you have one of them. And not only do you only have one of them, but you have the other one come out in street clothes to emphasize that you only have one of them. That's ridiculous. I know there's supposed to be comedic, funny spots in the Rumble match. It gives it a little bit of variety, gives you a little bit of breathing room because it's an hour-long match. The whole Cobra and Socko shit did not need to happen. Did not need to happen. That's all I'm going to say. Ricardo Rodriguez coming out and being part of the Rumble. That was okay. It was again, it was meant for comedy and whatever else they intended it for. The one thing it did for me was him coming out to Alberto Del Rio's music reminded me of not only Alberto Del Rio, but all the other people that are out injured right now. Alberto Del Rio, Sin Cara, Rey Mysterio, Christian, I'm forgetting somebody, but whatever. So don't remind us of somebody that's on the injured list if they're not coming back, because it only makes us think about what's not there, what the match is missing. And if you've got things that are missing, you don't really want to point them out to people. Just going to put that out there. Orton. I know, Orton was my pick to win, but what I'm about to say is not that because I'm pissed off that he didn't win. If Orton was not going to win, especially because it was in his hometown, especially because he makes everybody else he's in the ring with look like gold, Orton should have been entered earlier in the Rumble and spent more time in the Rumble. The fact that he didn't win, I can get over. But the fact that he was in for such a short period of time is not cool. He could have had a lot more interaction with Cody Rhodes and finished off that feud. They could have stretched out the involvement of him and Wade Barrett, because you got to realize they're going to build on that heading towards either the Chamber or WrestleMania. They could have had him and The Miz, because him and The Miz have had feuds in the past and such and such and such. But they didn't, and Orton was in there for a very confined period of time. Not only that, he was in there for such a short period of time, and Chris Jericho being him being the 28th and Chris Jericho being the 29th, they didn't have any time to go at each other. And Chris Jericho eliminated him rather quickly and rather cheaply by just going up behind him as he was eliminating Big Show and eliminating him as well. I would have liked to seen a lot more interaction between Chris Jericho and Randy Orton, because you're not going to see it much because they're on different shows. And it was something, at least in the Rumble match, I wanted to see them at least cross paths, as the cliche goes. Like I say, this wasn't a horrible show. It's just they didn't put enough into this at all. Like, they didn't do enough to fill the time, and they filled it with video packages, and like I say, you didn't need to spend like 5 minutes on a CENA promo, 5 minutes on a Rock promo, 2 or 3 minutes promoting Raw the next night. Come on. And they did the same, and I said in my last video, I like the Royal Rumble by the numbers packages where they do all the statistics and whatnot. They should save that video and do it once before the match at the Rumble, because by the time the Rumble comes around, and it's happened, I think, last year and the year before, by the time the Rumble match actually comes around, we've seen that package so many times, that package, that little bit of statistics and whatnot, is what everybody goes up and goes to the bathroom and goes to get a fresh snack before the Rumble match starts. And maybe that's by design. Maybe it is by design. But a video package is supposed to get you ready for a match. A video package is not supposed to make you want to walk away from your TV. That's a bad news, especially with the WWE, who, as I've said over and over and over again, put together great video packages. They really, really do. But they don't need to be shoved down our throats. I really don't know what else to say. I can think of a good 10 people that I wanted to see in this Rumble and didn't. The whole commentator thing... Booker T going back in the Rumble I have no problem with, because, he already proved against Cody Rhodes earlier this year that he can still go. Lawler going in for sort of like nostalgia and retro factor, kind of like Duggan, no offense. I don't really have a problem with that. Michael Cole is just like, what the fuck are you doing? And I know that's what we're supposed to say to it, but he's not getting... It's like the Cena thing. I'm not booing him because he's a good heel or a good bad guy or he's getting a right reaction. I'm booing him because I really don't want him on my TV screen at all. And the fact that he got chased off by Karma and eliminated by his other commentator mates just made me laugh my ass off, because he really, really shouldn't be there. And if the rumor that I've heard that they're going to fire Laurinaitis and make Michael Cole the new GM of Raw, if that's true... I'm going to borrow a phrase from John of Beer Money 2K. I'm going to have to sleep with a nightlight on, because that idea gives me nightmares. I have gone on for a good 32 minutes now. I am pretty done. I have no voice left, as you can probably tell. I don't know what else to say. I should have more to say, probably, because we are in that road to WrestleMania time, and we should always have 101 things to say. The Horsemen, I'll just put this out there for what it's worth. The Horsemen, Delexman, Eon Izzle, and Preston and John for Beer Money 2K did a video on the road to WrestleMania, and I believe, if I read it correctly, it's 3 hours long. I'll be honest, the only reason I listened to the whole thing was because I was on a long bus ride. These guys dissected the entire journey from the beginning of January to WrestleMania and beyond. If you want to think of some shit that you've never heard of before, go watch the video. These 4 guys, and yes, I will say, all 4 of them did a great job with this. If you really want a long video that you've got time to listen to that'll turn your head right around, I would suggest going and listening to it. Now, what I will say, the winner of Spaz's YWC Appreciation Royal Rumble Lottery was, in fact, Kid of Wrestling, because he had number 22. 22 was Sheamus, and Sheamus won the Rumble. So what I will also tell you is go check out Kid of Wrestling, youtube.com/user/Kid of Wrestling, and check out his videos. They are good, they will entertain you, and they are, unlike mine, short, sweet, and to the point. I've been Spaz. Subscribe up there. Talk down there. I've been your YWC reality check, so keep that conversation going, and I will talk to all you guys later. Bye.